That's 4 in a row
Well,
for
I'm
him
an
now.
American League fan. We had a serious drought in the 70s and the 80s there, but we're coming back in the 90s.
I see. Well, Cal Ripken with that 3-run homer. However, if they could have divided up Andre Dawson's long home run into 2 or 3.
Mega shot there, huh? Ferraro trying to win a game in the championship round, and he starts nicely with a solid X on lane 15.
And Dave Ferraro showing his versatility and his flexibility all week long. He played right at the first arrow. Didn't like the reaction out there today. The ball biting too much, as we saw Walter Ray's ball doing in the first match. He's opted for the more inside angle where there's some more oil.
To the 1 board, back to the 17 board, and another strike for Stayrook, who threw 10 strikes in game number 1.
He says this is an easy game. Just send it left and watch it come back and strike.
Powerful player who normally has taken advantage of winning when he has gotten to that position. Has 2 national titles to his credit. Right now, though, he does have a fabulous reaction, and that has to loosen you up a little mentally.
Well, he knows that he has a chance to win this tournament. I think he feels that the right-handers really don't have that good a ball reaction, and that, you know, if he can get through here a couple matches, that he'll be bowling Mazza.
It's interesting, too, because this tournament kind of turned around once match play started. The left-handers averaged 9 pins a game higher than the righties when they got to the final 24 games.
Yeah, there's his lovely wife looking on, not liking that reaction of the 3-7-9. Kathy says, Jess, I want you to throw hard and straight at this, and maybe something will bounce out there and hit that 7-pin.
You should have seen her last night when he needed the mark in the 10th against Albee when he finally got the strike. I thought she was going to fall on the floor. It's tough. Nothing bounces out, but Ferraro bounces up off the bench quickly because he sees an advantage as he calls for a re-rack on 16.
And Jess, for the first time, threw that ball left, and it didn't come back. So it could be that that oil is carrying down. And remember what Mazza said, that if Jess was playing outside, he didn't think he would because he didn't think the shot would be that good.
That'll be interesting to see where our top seed, John Mazza, decides to play the championship round pair. Keep in mind, Norm Duke is qualified number 2. Wow, did he have a night last night. Ferraro back in, a little in-out shot. Bucket was there momentarily, and he probably wishes he'd have left it.
258's no easy spare at any time.
Now, how does he adjust to shoot this spare?
Well, it'd be interesting. You know, some players opt to shoot it from the left. I would think that Dave is going to shoot it off of his strike line because he knows what the ball is going to do there. So he'd be aiming right around the 3rd arrow. Perfect conversion. 5-step player holds the ball waist high, short first step, and gets the ball into a swing right away. Quick steps. And the interesting thing, here's his shoulder high backswing, very little slide, and goes into it heel first. The foot turning there really is inconsequential because it's done after he's let the ball go.
Average 224.6 on the championship round pair this week. And comes back with another solid strike on 15.
But didn't really take advantage of the opportunity they had with Jess opening there in the 2nd frame.
Well, we know he has the potential to throw a lot of strikes. So an open may not bother him that much, especially early on in a match.
The only way it's going to bother him is if that was a mistake on his part or whether there's a different reaction on the lane.
Oh, that was the half board, and it came back and nearly tickled out the 10.
And I think that's the first time he's hit the 1-2 and not struck. So maybe from the first frame in the first game, boy, out to the absolute edge. But you see how much further down the lane he gets to that point than Walter Ray was playing on the other side of the lane.
Carey has been terrific. I mean, he's got to be throwing strikes, what, 95% of the time when he hits the pocket. No problem with the 10. And he continues to trail by a dozen pins here in match number 2.
Well, we'll see what kind of adjustment he makes on lane 15 after that 3-7-9.
Well, you see the scoreboard here with Stayrook trailing by 12. Well, one of the key members of our crew, Betsy Lawrence, is back home in Chicago recovering from, well, a slight domestic accident. We all here want to wish her the best. Take it easy, Bets, relax, and we want you out here the rest of the summer. We're not the same without her. Jess kind of creeps up on the foul line, unleashes a powerful shot, and just absolutely pays the price with a pocket 7-10.
And that head pin went to the sideboard, missed the 10 pin on the right, then came back and missed the 7 pin on the left. So it was 0 for 2. Hard and straight at the 7 pin and hope for something to bounce out. Oh, and he made it! The third time!
Well, Mazza made it earlier this year. Roth was the first to do it, and Kathy says, you bet. A 7-10 conversion right here on ESPN. Oh, my. The only two-time winner here in Tucson, Barry Asher, would have approved of that 7-10 conversion. Coco Johnson on the senior show just the other night. And the 77 champion, George Pappas. We'll be back with more excitement after this.
And for only the third time in the history of PBA on television, you're going to see something here, a conversion of the 7-10. The ball hits the 7 pin. It bounced up off the sideboard, around across the lane, and knocked that 10 pin over like he planned it that way.
Well, now, they're still oohing and eyeing, but if you're Dave Ferraro, you got to put the game face on, and mentally you have to be thinking, oh, come on, this can't happen to me.
He says, that's why I'm 1-11 over the last 12 games.
So Ferraro will try and fight through all the excitement, and he leaves the 10 pin, thankfully, without the 7. We should make note at this point, had Stayrook missed there, he would have been down by 25. Instead, it's now a 14-pin match.
Well, you never know. We'll see at the end of the game whether those 11 pins make a big difference.
What an interesting show, though. John Mazza, the last to make it, he's on the telecast in the top seed position. Those lefties are consorting once again, trying to teach each other how to make the 7-10.
Well, Dan, I'll tell you what, I bowled for, 40 years, and I made it once.
Did you really?
Once.
Where was it?
It was in Portsmouth, Virginia, in a Pro-Am.
When it really meant a lot.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure your Pro-Am partners appreciated it.
Yes, they did.
How did you throw hard at the 10?
At the 7 pin.
At the 7?
At the 7 pin.
Wow. Well, fireworks happening early here in the Tucson Open. That kind of livened up this bunch here in Tucson.
It sure did.
Left lane's been a good one for Dave Ferraro, and it remains the same as Gloria looks on and applauds the effort.
And I think she's thinking of that 7-10.
You can see it written all over her face. Come on now, guys. How can you do this to me? Did you ever make the 4-6?
I made that a couple, 3 times.
No. Really?
Yeah.
How about the 5 pin?
I had trouble with that.
After the re-rack, after near disaster on the half-board, Stayrook strikes, and he's climbing back into this match.
Now, did you see Kathy's reaction when he made that spare, that 7-10? What a trusting shot here. Out to almost right at the first board there. Yeah, and then just a right turn, whack. Those pins didn't have a chance.
The razor's edge. That's where you have to live sometimes out here on the PBA Tour when you're bowling in order to strike.
Well, the trouble is you make a board mistake to the left and it's trouble.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the 9 pin thought about it momentarily and then was dazzled. A double for Stayrook, and this is now a 4-pin match.